Good morning. It is time to start lesson 23 of our Eureka Unit 4 Math. This again is going to be a 2-day lesson, and we're working on day 1. I strongly encourage you to watch Mrs. Chen on the Eureka video before you attempt to do any of these problems, especially not the word problem. So you need to make sure that you watch that video first before you jump in and solve the word problem. Remember, when you do the word problem, you should write your read, write, draw, or your read, draw, write part of your problem. Oops, I almost forgot to mention over here. I know I say it all the time, but make sure that you use cubes and that you do read, draw, and write. That's so important when you're doing those word problems. And I know I say it, oh, I wrote it right there. What do you know? I wrote it twice. Okay, so then you are going to be doing problems. A has already been done for you. It is an example problem. After you've watched Mrs. Chen and you look at the example problem, I think you'll find that this is not too tough. You are going to be using number bonds, which we have done all the way through this school year, to subtract. Here's the big key word. You're going to be subtracting from 100. In fact, I have even written up here that you are going to always be taking from 100. The first one has been done for you, and it is your example. So make sure you study over this problem. I'll go over it with you before you start these other 3 problems. You have 106 take away 90. 106 take away, oops, sorry about that. 106 take away 90. I am going to make a number bond out of 106 by breaking this into 100 because I am going to be subtracting from 100 or taking from 100. What's left after I take that is 6, because 6 plus 100 would give me 106. Then I'm looking at what am I going to subtract from 100. I'm going to be subtracting 90. So I'm writing an equation. 90 take away, or 100 take away 90 gives me 10, because 90 plus 10 would give me 100, or 10 ones take away 9 ones, or excuse me, 10 tens take away 9 tens is 110. So once I do that, then I am seeing that I have 10 left, but I am not done yet because I still have to consider this 6 that has not been dealt with. So I'm going to take the 10 that I have here and add it with 6 so that I can find out the difference here between the two. I've already taken 90 out of 100, and what I had left was 10. I still have to add that 6 back in. 10 plus 6 equals 16. Therefore, 106 take away 90 is 16. All right, so it's going to be your job to do problem B, C, and D on your own after you've practiced with Mrs. Chen as well. Then you need to try the word problem. And then you can come back when you're finished and I can help you, or not help you, but we will correct these problems together. That is a true statement. And then the exit ticket you will need to send to your teacher. Oops, I almost failed to mention that there is a sprint to do, an A and a B side. And I would like your student to do the sprint. And they should probably work on it. I don't want you to time it for 1 minute. Let's see how far they can get. So I'm going to say not timed. I think it's important for your student to get as many done as you can. I would say somewhere between 7 and 10 minutes to be able to do the sprint. And then,
don't forget to sign your time card.
Sorry about that, we're getting a little interruption. So you need to do the side A for 7 to 10 minutes. You might get finished early. And then you need to do the same thing on the side B, again, not timed. And these are such good practices, somewhere between 7 and 10 minutes, and anything that you don't get finished, you really need to make sure that you go back and work all of those problems. And I will be sharing the answers to the sprint at the same time that I am going to share the answers to day 1 of lesson 23. So with that, you need to shut this video off and watch the Eureka video with Mrs. Chin. Then you need to do your sprint and the word problem and the 3 problems that you need to do along with your exit ticket that you are going to send to your teacher. So with that, you are going to pause the video, and then I'll be back in a few minutes and we will go over the answers to these problems. Pause the video. Hey, are you back? All right, hopefully. Let's go ahead. I will show you the answers for the sprint. And remember, you can pause the video so that you and your student can check these over and make sure that they are on the right track. Anything that they're having difficulty with, you can have a conversation with those problems. So there is side A. Pause the video so you can check it. And here is side B. Same thing. Remember, these are not timed. We would like you to have your student work between 7 and 10 minutes. And anything that they didn't get accomplished, you still need to have them get those finished as well. Okay, now let's go ahead and take a look at the word problem that we're going to be doing. We'll start there today. So hopefully for day 1, you remembered to use cubes. So Yosef had downloaded 115 songs. 100 of those songs were rock songs. Okay, the rest were hip hop songs. So the rest were hip hop songs. The question you need to answer is, how many of Yosef's songs were hip hop? All right, so this is a 2-part problem. I'm going to start with part A and we'll come back and consider part B here in just a few minutes. All right, so what do I know? Oh, I know that I have a whole. Here's my whole, because I know that he downloaded 115 total songs. So he had 115 total downloaded pieces of music. And I also know one of the parts. One of the parts says that 100 of those 115 songs were rock songs. So I'm going to put in the part that I know. 100 were rock music. And then the rest of those, this is the unknown, were hip hop. Hip hop music. All right. So now I'm going to write an equation to help me figure out what I need to do to solve this problem. I have my whole and a part and a part. So my whole is 115. If I take away one of my parts, I will get the missing part. So 115 take away 100 should give me what I'm looking for as far as hip hop is concerned. Now I'm going to use the same method that Mrs. Chin did. I am going to take away from 100. So I'm going to use a number bond to break 115 into 100, and that leaves me with 15. Then I'm going to take from 100, take away 100 equals, well, that's easy, that equals 0. What do I have left that I still need to consider and add back in? I have 15 plus my 0 gives me 15. So 115 take away 100 is 15, and I know that there are 15 songs that are hip hop. So 15 songs are hip hop. All right, put a little period there. That was part A, and I'm going to put a little box around part A. And now I want to see what part B has to offer. It says 80 of his rock songs, 80 of his rock songs were oldies, oldie rock music. How many rock songs were there? So 80 of his rock songs were oldies. I want to know how many of those songs were new songs. All right, so let's see. I need to think about what I have to look at here. How many rock songs do I know that he has? Well, I found out up here, it tells me that 100 of those songs, I'm just going to highlight that because it's an important part for this particular problem, 100 of them were rock songs. So that gives me my whole again. This is different than this problem. So I have 100 songs that are rock songs. Rock songs. And what do I know about my two parts? Do I know anything about those two parts? Well, I think I do, because 80 of his rock songs, 80 of those were oldies. That means they've been around for a long time. Most of the music Miss Star listens to would be considered oldies. What I'm trying to do is figure out how many of those rock songs are new rock songs. That would be the songs that you guys probably listen to. Well, I can see that I can write myself an equation because I have a whole and a part and a part. So 100 take away 80 should give me how many of those are new songs. Now, let's see. I don't even need to break this apart because I'm already going to be taking from 100. So 100 take away 80. Well, 10 tens take away 8 tens gives me 2 tens, and as a standard number, that would be 20. So I know that 20 of his rock songs, 20 of his rock songs are new songs. Always have to do the right part, and I am going to write 20 in there because that's the part that I needed to figure out. That was a pretty easy problem, and I hope you were very successful in solving that. Two parts. Don't forget you needed to do both parts. All right, let's go ahead and go over to the next page. So I explained this one for you in the one just a few minutes ago, and I'm not going to go over that one again. We're going to move over to problem B, which is 116 take away 90. Now I'm just going to rewrite that just a little bit bigger for myself because I want to have a little bit more space to be able to work. I know that I am going to be taking from 100, so I'm going to do a number bond that has 100, so I can take 90 from 100. That leaves me with, well, if I added 16 to 100, I would get 116. So I know that I am going to take my 90 away from 100 just because it's a very easy fact to do. I hardly even have to use brain power to do it. So 100 take away 90. Well, let's see. 10 tens take away 1 10, or 9 tens gives me 110. So 100 take away 90 is 10. I still have to add that 16 back in because I'm not done yet. 16 plus the 10 that was left gives me 6 ones plus 0 ones gives me 6 ones. And 110 plus 110 gives me 2 tens, or 26. So I know that 116 take away 90 is 26. Wow, this is pretty easy. I really like it. I'm hoping that you do too. So now we have 114 take away 80. And like I did in the other problem, I'm going to write that just a little bit bigger. Okay, so I'm going to find out what that is, but I am going to use a number bond because I am going to take away from 100. So if I take 100 and break this apart from 100 and 14. 14 plus 100 would give me back 114. I am going to take 80 away from 100. So here's my 100, take away 80, gives me 20. I still have this 14 that I need to add back in. So 14 plus 20, 4 ones and 0 ones is 4, and 1 10 and 2 10s is 3 10s. Therefore, I know that 114 take away 80 is 34. All right, one more to go before you need to send your exit ticket to your teacher. 115 take away 80. Remember, I'm taking away from 100 or taking from 100. So I'm going to break this number bond apart into 100. That leaves me with 15 because 15 plus 100, part plus part, gives me back my whole. Now I am going to take 80 away from that 100. So 100 take away 80. Well, that's a piece of cake. That would be 20 because 10 tens take away 8 tens is 2 tens. 2 tens in standard form would be 20. And 15 is what I had left right there. I'm going to add that to the 20 that was left after I subtracted away from 100. 5 ones and 0 ones is 5 ones. 1 10 and 2 tens is 3 tens. Therefore, I know that 115 take away 80 is 35. All right, so my friends, you need to take care of your exit ticket with these two problems and make sure that you send that to your teacher. Okay, and with that, I am going to tell you to have a great day of learning.